Hold on, put me together, take me back where I've been. I want it all.
What?
Same at all.
Morning, mate. What is in your ear? Are you got some music going on in there or something?
Yeah, I've got some bit of music. I like warming up to music.
Bit of fine tuning.
I think he's pretending to be Rory McIlroy. He's chatting. He's having a little chat with Jim Nance at the minute.
Yeah. I think that's silly when they go down the fairway and they got an AirPod in.
Oh,
I just think it's stupid.
I liked it though. I've got to say,
I like
liked
it, but I just. Why can't the camera be like nearby, more?
I don't know.
Like a microphone nearby.
Well, because then he wouldn't be able to hear him, would he? So he's got to hear what they're saying.
They could come near to him.
Yeah, but they're all old. They're old, and Augusta looks really hilly. I've never been there.
Well, good morning, Christopher.
Good morning,
and
Daniel.
welcome to the Sunday morning show.
Oh,
from the beautiful, well, your home, beautiful Newquay.
Something's gone wrong.
There's something horribly gone wrong because normally it's blowing an absolute graham storm down here.
Where are they?
Rain, wind, cold, miserable, waves about 20 foot high.
Do you know anything that's changed?
What's that?
Easy.
Dog's here.
Do you always bring the weather dog?
Sometimes.
Huh?
Depends.
On that note, what are you listening to in that ear?
Actually,
What is that?
I'm listening to some rock music.
Rock music, getting
yeah.
in the zone. Well, good morning everybody and welcome to another Sunday morning show. We are down here at the beautiful Newquay Golf Club. We're going to be doing a ladder match. We're finally getting you onto the ladder.
I know, it's been a while.
Dog tried to bunny hop me, got that horribly wrong. Like, I hate my game. It's so bad.
You're struggling here?
What's
going on, dog?
I'll mark it. I just cannot.
Have a breather. Go and have a little breather over in the corner. Okay. Have a
There's not really any words to use to describe my game at the moment.
Breathe.
Apart from poor and something else.
I would say in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Well,
get deep down into your stomach, dog.
Yeah.
And now he's gone to the bottom of the ladder, which has enabled us to have this wonderful match on this fantastic golf course on a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Is surf up?
No, awful. You wouldn't want to get out there today, yeah.
Flat
Flat's back, you got about a couple of feet. Look at that, Dan, you got a pan towards that, man.
It's absolutely stunning. I'm.
Can we reach?
Do you know what? I should have brought the.
I can't.
I should have brought the family down today. They could have gone and chilled out on the beach whilst we. Then again, it'd be a bit fresh on the beach. Well, there's a few things that I want to talk about in this Sunday morning show. Number one, did you manage to watch last week with Joe the Pro?
I did.
And was that a bit of an eye-opener for you, or
you know
seen
what?
a lot of that?
No, well, I'm very fortunate, aren't I? You know, I managed to get into tour trucks and all that malarkey, so I am very lucky. But I was fascinated to hear about some of the stuff he was on about, especially with swing weights and stuff, because I always knew what I liked the feel of, but I didn't know what it was.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So I would get clubs built for me and I'd go, well, I like that one and I don't know why I like it, but I prefer it over that one.
But in that they know.
Yeah.
The guys that are making the clubs for you, they know. And to be fair, you know, and we're going to talk to you a bit more about it because we got the PGA stuff. We had a good chat with him about the PGA. But I
got a job going, dog.
Dog, got a job down here, dog. But we don't talk about, we do talk about swing weight when it comes to the PGA and training and all of that. But it's not something I feel like we go into massive amount of detail with.
Well, it'd be interesting now, because obviously when we did our training back in
a few years back.
Even custom fitting wasn't really a thing. It was even like, I don't know, because I did my training before you, and mine was it got into just the ping colour lie angles.
And
all
of that,
the cushion shaft and all that. So it was the first proper fitting. So I custom fitting, but what's that? 25 years ago now. Wow,
a long time ago, Christopher.
But so it'd be very interesting now if they do talk about. Yeah, thanks, mate. Me and Ovada native re-gripping, whipping. You joke. My first ever week at the PGA, they gave me a block of persimmon. And you had to create a driver, so you had to shave it all down, face plate, face insert, sole plate, whipping. I know, dog. I know. And then you had to glaze the whipping, just to cut for your finger. Yeah, it was awful.
Amazing. Well, one thing I want to talk about as well today is majors. Lots to talk about this week with regards to the fact that it's Sunday at the Masters, which is a fantastic day at the Masters, as we all know, and we sit and watch. Biggest day of the year, is that right?
It's better than my kid's birth, wedding day, anything. Oh yeah.
It definitely tops.
I want to talk about what it means to you guys, but also I want to talk about where we're at right now within the world of golf, of majors, live. PGA Tour, European Tour, DP World Tour. So there's a lot to get through
Yeah.
today. And then I've also got some fantastic questions that have come in for you two, which we will probably do a little bit of a quick fire question answer
That'd be good.
as we move on through the Sunday morning show. But let's get out into this beautiful links. It's a wonderful day. Let's get out there. Well done.
Right.
I don't know what quite went happened there.
I expect someone else on the ladder to do that,
well.
but not quite you.
Switched off for a minute. I was thinking about curry.
So tell me about the Masters. What's the Masters mean to you as an event? Is it a big event?
I'm a child.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest child when it comes to the Masters. Number of reasons. Primarily, it kicks off the golf season back in the UK, doesn't it? It's as soon as that comes around, there's a bit of an influx within the shop, the business, and all that stuff, and that's kind of cool. But I remember being a kid. I don't know, what was I, 8, 9 years old, staying up till midnight, wasn't it? You were still watching if there was a playoff or whatever the case was. So yeah, my wife is brilliant. I literally do not move for 4 evenings, and she brings in beer and food, and it's my favourite.
Properly looks after you.
To be fair, the other 51 weeks of the year I am super husband. You know, I can't.
Where'd you get one of them?
You know, I don't.
What, a super husband?
No. Look no further.
Okay then, so what is your earliest memory of the Masters? Is there anything that
Show
jumps
my age now, aren't I?
Yeah, you're gonna, yeah.
86 Nicholas is my
was it?
earliest memory. Yeah.
You remember sitting watching
remember
that?
watching that with my dad, bless
Yeah.
him, he's not longer here unfortunately, but we used to, yeah, it was amazing just watching him come down the stretch. Wasn't even on the highlight shot, you know, he's hit a nice shot into 7, whatever the case was, and he obviously got on a bit of a run, didn't he, in that sort of eagle at 15, and just amazing. Yeah, then obviously you got to sort of see Lyle, Woosnam, Fowler, obviously Europeans came to the forefront,
Seve,
and then
Alazabal.
you had the massive Tiger moment.
Which do you think's the best? What do you think? I mean, that's your earliest memory. What do you
Yeah.
say was your best memory of the Masters?
Of the Masters, I would have to say, you got to say 97 Woods, I think.
Yeah.
I think I just the way that not only, I think it was mentioned, wasn't it? Like everyone goes, yeah, he won the tournament by, what was it, 8 shots, 10 shots, whatever the case was. But he went out in 40.
I know,
He
yeah.
played the front 9 in
with,
40
with
shots.
Fowler.
With Fowler, who was the defending champ, obviously beat Norman the year previous.
Yeah.
So to go out at 40, and the world is on your shoulders because everyone expected him to do all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's done 40, and I was going, well, he's obviously not as good as everyone thinks he is. Comes back in 30 and just laps the field.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. And that is, I would say, that's one of the biggest moments. In it.
Oh,
Maybe
100%.
Maybe his pitching on the back of, was it 16?
16, yeah.
I mean, that was just a marketing moment, wasn't it? for
Advertiser's
Nike?
dream, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely was.
But yeah, I think that. But I also think it was when he did win the comeback. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Woods fan anyway.
Yeah,
but when
yeah.
the comeback happened, that was pretty cool as well.
We were
But
90s golfers, weren't we? That was our kind of.
You were.
I was, yeah. Yeah, you were a bit before that, actually, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
late 80s, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's horrible, isn't it?
Love that. What do you think about that shot then, Doug?
That was beautiful. Mate.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Never looked away from the stick, did it really, when he hit it?
Proper golfer, isn't he, Doug?
Almost felt like I knew what I was doing then. Almost. Cheers, mate.
Is it now time to have maybe more majors, bringing the best players together more often, should we say? Because for me, I feel like the other tours around the world, other than the PGA Tour, are almost getting buried. Obviously, all the players are running away from the Asian Tour, the Sunshine Tour, the European Tour, DP World Tour, and getting themselves into the States. If you to qualify, and you think about the qualifying, and I'm not against the qualifying for the Masters, it's up to them. They run it. It's their event at the end of the day. But if you've won the Players' Championship in the last 3 years, you get in. Well, the Players' Championship, okay, it's the 5th major.
It's like their 5th major.
It's their
isn't it?
5th major, but it isn't. It's not a major.
No.
It's a big event. Don't get me wrong, but nobody gets an invite for winning the Wentworth event,
No, which is mad.
which is absolutely mad. Now, my theory
Which is
is
the European Tours, that's their main event.
it's their main event.
So,
It's their
yeah.
flagship event.
Yeah.
So
most
my
money,
theory
it's
was
biggest purse, yeah.
having, let's focus on having spots from all the different tours around the world. So focus on the Asian Tour, focus on the Sunshine Tour, DP World Tour. I'm sure there's Australian tours, there's South American tours, there's Japanese tours. And why can't we just let those players have an opportunity to play in these major events? We were looking as we drove down.
Well, yeah, more from a younger mindset. It's like, feels like the European Tour, which was always your tour that you look at to play on when you're younger. It just looks like it gets overlooked a little bit. You know, look at the guys on the rankings. They're not even in the Masters, and they're in the top 10. But they're literally in the top 10.
Yeah.
They're not playing in any of them. Like, it's just not right.
Do you have a take on it?
I do. I've got some pretty first-hand experience of it, and I remember qualifying for events and European Tour events and not getting a start because someone from the US Tour wanted to come and play, and then obviously you get chucked down the pecking order and stuff. And what people hopefully realise is that it's very expensive. You know, even to go to tour school, you're looking at 5-6 grand, even when I was doing it. So now, God knows how much it would be. And I think that it's almost a closed shop, and I think that's morally incorrect, because I think if you've played well, you should get the chance. But everything goes on world rankings, it goes on status, it goes on, you know, if sponsors want you in the field. You know, it all boils down to money at the end of the day, doesn't it? I don't think you can get away from that. But I do believe that, especially with the Masters, there's 86, 87 players, is it? I don't think, you know, why isn't the top 2 from the Asian Tour, the South African Tour? They do it with the amateurs. So the South American amateur gets a spot. They are obviously the British, the US. It's like, what, 7 amateurs in the field? 8 amateurs? And you've got some guy who's won the Asian Tour of Merit, Japanese Tour of Merit, Australasian. It doesn't get a spot. It doesn't sit very well with me at all, especially when you've got enough room to put more people in.
I definitely agree with every word of that.
Yeah, and what I'm getting at is, like, if you brought all of those guys together and you had, you know, talk about grow the game. Goodness me, grow the game. Well, growing the game is going from country to country to find out their guys, their heroes. Get them playing in big events like these, and I'm not saying the other opens and other majors don't have a better qualifying process or a different qualifying process, but I just think 10 events, bring all the best players from all the different tours, and what that does is it also helps. It becomes better for those tours, because those players who are travelling to America don't have to travel to America anymore, because there's spots available from the DP World Tour. You know, those guys that are heading over, you know, who don't necessarily want to, I mean, lovely living in America, but, you know, who don't necessarily want to travel to America, they could stay in Japan and play, they could stay in Australia and play. And
golf's hard enough now to get to the top level, like, you know, so maybe create a few more opportunities for the guys all around the world, really. Like, you know.
Like to hear, though, down in the comments, what do you think about that? Am I just talking absolute gibberish? Or is there now, with everything that's happening with LIV and the change up of the world golf stage right now and world rankings, is now the time to make a bit of a shift?
So Daniel,
Christopher, talk to me.
love doing a bit of camera work.
Yeah,
so just go and have a little look at it.
What, the doctor?
Look at that. Just go and have a little squiz.
Come on.
Should we go and tell everyone about it?
Come and tell us.
So this is where.
Who was this? Colt.
Colt. Yeah. So
Harry Colt and the great doctor were actually really good friends.
Yeah.
So when the great doctor passed away, unfortunately, Harry Colt actually paid, I think, towards like the funeral and things like that. So they're actually quite close. So the great doctor always created these Mackenzies, what they call Mackenzies, in the middle of the green. So just dividing up the green for different pin positions and a quick way to be able to move earth and move slope for him. So I'm sure there's many people in the comments who are architect sort of boffs will have a bit more of an understanding of what it is, but this is what we've themed the channel on, really, isn't it?
It is, most certainly.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
I do like a good sit down now.
I found us a nice little bench in the sunshine, dog.
So I could probably sit here
looking at the waves.
Every day of the week, as
why
long as
not?
the weather's like this.
Yeah. It's not very often it's like this, to be fair, but
no.
It's absolutely stunning down here. Is the Masters your favourite major?
Yeah, 100%.
Is it?
Comes
over the Open?
Oh yeah. Open second, but I think it's because it comes first every year. I think it's always at the start of the season. It's always usually the weather starts turning, getting better this time of the year.
Yeah.
Golfers in the UK will definitely agree and know what I mean by that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I think it kicks off our golf season, to be quite honest with you.
I spoke to Gilly about these sort of questions earlier, but what would you say is your like earliest memory of the Masters? Have you got one that jumps out?
Yeah, I think it was it Woods in 05? I was 6 at the time. I can recall watching it. Did he win it in 05? It was around there.
He's won 5, hasn't he?
It was definitely in 05, and he just walked the field. It was the year that he held that putt on 16 across from the bat. It was at the chip.
Oh, the pitch, yeah, chip,
that was it. Yeah, I think it was 05. I'm pretty sure it might have been a little bit later, but I can remember that. I can remember watching that in his Sunday red. That was incredible.
And would you say, obviously, that's your earliest memory? What would you say since then has been your best memory of it? And maybe you've got a favourite player that jumps out to you.
I quite like Cam Smith.
Do you? Yeah.
Was it last year when he won the Open?
Yeah.
That was quite impressive, the way he clutched it round.
Yeah,
with
and nearly
Young.
actually did very well. Nearly won the Masters. Didn't he, last year?
Two guys. To be honest, I watch quite a bit of golf, but I root for a lot of players, to be honest.
Yeah. So Cam Smith, does it bother you that he's gone over to live now then?
Not at all. I do ask the question why, but you know, he's already given his statement. It's because he wants to be closer to home. He doesn't have to live over in America all the time. So we're all forgetting he lives in Australia, so that's where he's from. So which you have to respect. So
who's your pick for this week?
Rory, all day.
All day?
Yeah, all day.
Let's hope Rory's made it to for today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He needs a big move on big move on the Friday.
First day, wasn't he? So
big move today. We're filming this on Friday.
Yeah, he needs a big move.
Yeah. How's the match going with Gilly?
Yeah.
Going all right?
Yeah. Really
you two
good,
are playing some nice golf today.
Yeah,
we've got a beautiful day for it. Not a lot of wind.
Yeah.
And there's been some little bit of shootering going on out there, hasn't there? A little bit of shooters.
Couple of Nars, couple of Kevin.
Lovely stroke. I feel Jeremy Beadle's going to run out of a bush in a minute or something. Do you know what I mean? You've just brought down so many. Like it was. Do you remember the Scooby-Doo caretaker? He pulling his mask off, and it'd be like Eddie Pepper or something. Oh, it's dandy, isn't it?
Quick fire questions.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
No.
From the audience.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming from Instagram and then also from YouTube.
Is it the first thing that comes into my head?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Ready?
Right. Yeah. Go.
Italian or Chinese?
Chinese.
Favourite curry?
Pathia.
With prawns?
Yes. I feel under pressure.
Who is the most famous person you've ever played golf with?
Ooh. Adam Scott.
Favourite golfing memory?
Oh wow! Winning Europro. Yeah.
What would you introduce to golf to improve the game?
Bigger holes.
If there was one rule in golf to change, what would it be?
Divots. Divots in fairways every day of the week.
If it wasn't Callaway, who would it be?
TaylorMade. I was with TaylorMade for a few years. They were good.
How does it feel to have cart girls throwing themselves all over you?
Normal.
Why do you use a Truvis ball?
Because I've got really bad eyes.
What do you drink when you're watching the Masters?
Yes.
Next up, the dog.
Right.
Question time. You ready
Question
for
time.
this?
Yeah.
Favourite pie?
Turkey and ham.
What's your tipple and snack in the 19th hole?
Usually I'll have a pint of cider, like a Thatcher's Gold or something, but sometimes I like a rhubarb and med, you know, with a bag of chili nuts.
Favourite club not in the bag?
Ooh, not in the bag.
Got way better questions.
Probably not in the bag. It's probably my Gapper at home. It's not in the bag.
Gapper?
Yeah, the TaylorMade 2 iron. Because I can't hit the one that got in the bag. So.
What golf ball do you use and why?
I'm actually in the mix of Pro V1 and Pro V1 X. I feel like the X goes a little bit higher, but I'm using the one at the moment. I quite like it.
Do you prefer hybrid or long iron?
Probably the long iron for the stingers. Yeah.
Choice of curry?
Oh, chicken tikka balti.
Favourite golfing memory?
Probably winning the Parker Trophy with the lads and getting all the points last year. Yeah, 18 out of 18 points.
What is your golfing plan for this year, Dom?
Playing the amateur stuff as much as I can throughout the year. Just really trying to just get a gauge of where I'm at, and then probably turn pro next year. But that's on the cards. Depends how I perform this year. So.
How do you get over bad shots? I don't think he ever does.
No, I don't think I ever do. No, it's always in the back of my mind. There's always something that's bothering you and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I need to definitely learn to laugh it off. So.
Well, there you go. There is our Sunday morning show from Nuki. I just want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you for all of you that have been watching. We got to 45,000 subscribers this week, and it's been absolutely fantastic. The whole road of trying to get to this position at 45,000, and I know there's so many golf channels out there doing some great stuff and really sort of pressing on with the amount of subscribers, but they really do help. So please do, if you have got a chance to subscribe, please check as well, because sometimes you can be bumped out of that. But 45,000, so a big thank you to everybody watching, certainly this show and all the other vlogs that we do, for taking the time to check in with us every now and then. Big thank you also to Nuki Golf Club for allowing us to come down here. If you haven't entered the competition to win a year's supply of golf balls from Titleist, make sure you head over to the St Enodoc video that I did with Joe Cruz. Make sure you head over and just check that one out and enter the competition, because I will be giving that away very, very quickly. And also Joe the Pro's putter, he's desperate to give it away. I still am getting lots of people entering, so make sure you go and check out last week's Sunday morning show to enter that, because Joe is going to make up a brand new putter for you and send it your way, all specced up for what you need. Big thank you to obviously Gilly and the dog for performing today around Nuki. You're going to see them this week coming on the show. We got the ladder match for you, fantastic match. We've had a great day down here. Enjoy the Masters, enjoy Easter, and I'll see you all again next week.